Hello, I am Sky, also known as Internisis, and you are watching a live stream of Super Hexagon. This is just an experiment at the moment. Partly I am doing this as a technical test for sound levels, streaming quality versus jitter during play as a result of recording, and at the same time I am hoping to determine whether or not it is viable to live stream Super Hexagon play as entertainment. I really don't know if that's a good idea or not, but sometimes when I play this game I feel like sharing. I feel like I want people to watch me, because I feel proud of myself, and I don't usually feel that way when I play games. I play games mostly as I'm mostly interested in single-player experiences, honestly, and skill-based arcade games do not often, they don't often appeal to me in this way. It's going to get hard to talk in a second. Oh yeah. Yep. It takes me a while to warm up when I first start to play any session. Usually I don't feel like I'm in a groove for about 10 minutes. So, this might be a little bit rough watching for a while. Actually, this entire project, the entire idea of doing this, of streaming myself playing this game and talking, or either of those things, could wind up being horribly embarrassing for me. I have no idea. I even set the damn thing to notify on Facebook that I was doing this when I started. Might be a very bad idea, I don't know. I've really never done anything like this before. I have never broadcasted live on the internet any kind of content, whether it's just speaking or playing gameplay footage, and here I am doing both at the same time. I've also never recorded gameplay, you know, in a not live sense, just like recorded for YouTube or something. I've never done that either. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know how long. Yeah, I really need to stop talking when I hit Hexagon. Clearly. You might have noticed in the upper left corner I have a pretty good top score in this mode. This is the easiest mode in the game, which the game, of course, enthusiastically calls hard, with subsequent modes being harder, hardest, hardester, and so on. Tongue-in-cheek, but also true. That's Super Hexagon. I have not completed anything above the second mode in this game, which is called Hexagoner. I have not been able to complete Hexagonist. By the way, for the uninitiated, complete just means achieving a score of 60 seconds. That's all you need to have beaten a mode, although of course you are free to get better than that. Okay, I'm going to shut up for a second. Just get used to the speed change here. This is where the real game begins. This is where the true Hexagon begins. Fuck Demon Souls, man. This is the real shit. I hope the sound levels are okay, otherwise this is going to be pretty stupid. Not really feeling the groove yet, just kind of going with it. Oh man, that's some bad stutter. That makes it hard. Just the recording that's doing that to me. I'm playing with VSync disabled, and normally I find the frame rate very nice on my 120 Hz monitor. But attempting to do this while recording is presenting some technical limitations, naturally, on my 5-year-old computer. Holy Jesus. Oh god, I hate this pattern. Oh, can't believe I survived that. Wow, this is great. This is usually around the time when I eat it. Oh, there it is. I'm sure that only happened because I said something. Okay. So yeah, I have been playing plain old hexagon mode quite a bit recently because I've been just working on my leaderboard time, and the reason for that is because I feel like, as you've just seen, I feel like long endurance play at that high speed, once you hit hexagon at 60 seconds, really lends itself to developing skills for harder modes like hexagonist, which is incredibly fast just from the outset, and very spinny as well. So it makes it difficult to maintain your sense of absolute motion as you spin around as well. The only problem with doing this is that I find the first 60 seconds of hexagon quite boring. That's not true for hexagoner. As I play that to increase my leaderboard score, I do sometimes make, well, not sometimes, but fairly regularly make mistakes during the first 60 seconds of that. I do have to keep my wits more about me. It's still challenging enough. Man, it's so weird. It's so weird to be doing this, to be talking while I'm doing this. I don't know if it's helping me or not, to be honest with you. This is one of those, yeah. I don't think I would have made that mistake if I wasn't talking. This is one of those kinds of games where you need to achieve a Zen-like state in order to do well at all. And there are many things you can try to do that. I often try to look at the screen in a particular way. I try to find the right mindset using just my eyes, just by thinking about where I'm looking. I try very hard not to concentrate on the triangle that represents me itself, because if I do that, then I lose sight of the surrounding maze geometry as it closes in on me. I lack foresight. I lack peripheral vision if I focus too finely on my own movements, which is why it's so important to develop a fine interval control, where you can just feel by how long you've pressed a button how far around the hexagon or whatever shape you happen to be at, since it's variable on this mode. You need to be able to feel that. You need to be able to feel those intervals just by pressing the button without looking straight at your triangle. So I usually try to focus my vision somewhere out in the middle of the field, maybe halfway to the border of my screen, I suppose. And I don't focus it there. I just kind of stare through it. I don't entirely know how to explain that. It's like I'm looking. The focus of my vision is past the distance to my monitor as I play. It doesn't make everything look blurry, and it's not that unfocused, but it allows me to kind of perceive the bigger picture more than anything else. And that can be really difficult because, especially on harder modes like hexagoner, I find myself at times absolutely needing to look intently at my position at the little triangle, because sometimes you'll hit a pattern that requires a very fine-grained motion, a very deliberate, stepwise interval, rapidly. And I'm just not good enough yet to be able to do that without looking. I hope that I become good enough to do that without looking, because I don't know. I feel like that's a significant blockade to my progression. I'm not sure if it's possible for me to get very much further in the game if I can't learn to make fine-grained stepwise motions like this, just going around to the different like slots, as you will, of the shape, without it in a very fast motion, but precisely. I need to be able to do that without watching my motions. I need to be able to see what's coming next as I make that very fine motion. Here's an example like this. That very fine stepwise motion. I need to be able to do that without looking closely at the triangle. Otherwise, I will be screwed for life. Back and forth, back and forth. A lot of the patterns in this game, kind of the default pattern movement, requires you to just simply go back and forth. Whether you're in a square or you're in a hexagon, you're often just kind of going back and forth. And sometimes, that was really stupid, you need to be careful. You need to be patient enough not to, especially at high speeds, not to move unnecessarily. You need to learn that. And that can be tough because when things are moving quickly, you assume that you need to be moving quickly as well. You feel kind of like a shark. You feel like if you stop, you'll die. So it becomes a problem if you train yourself to move too much. You need to learn restraint. And you need to learn restraint on a subconscious level because you need to be able to recognize when restraint is called for, when things are moving so fast that your conscious mind has no capability of actually discerning that fact. So it's quite challenging. But as I was saying, the fact that a lot of the motions in this game make you just go back and forth, just across the shape like this, you kind of start assuming that that's what's going to happen as you enter a bit of maze. Before you can even see what's coming next, you just kind of start assuming that you're going to have to circle back around. You see what I just did right there, actually. Like this, these just back and forth, complete 180s. And if you get too used to that, you can really mess yourself up by making it your default pattern. If you create any kind of preference, any kind of instinctive preference for turning direction for yourself, the game becomes very hard. Because you're effectively sabotaging yourself, because there will be situations that will subvert that expectation. And you're creating a weakness for yourself if you develop any kind of proclivity. Just gonna concentrate for a second. Oh, yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah. This is a very different experience than I'm used to, this talking. In fact, if I was playing at a higher mode of difficulty, I don't think I would be able to talk much at all. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not sure if this is a good idea. I don't know. I mean, first of all, I don't normally just talk for lengthy periods of time and expect that anything interesting will come out. So, I mean, I don't really fancy myself an entertainer or a particularly eloquent speaker, so it's not something I routinely do. But more than that, there are going to be times, I mean, even assuming that I could come up with enough material to just keep the jibber-jabber up forever, there's certainly going to be times in the gameplay when I need to shut the hell up and figure out what I'm doing. Which actually many of those times have come and gone already, and here I continue to go, and that's why I have not done quite as well as I should have so far. Actually, let's try it out. Let's just shut up. A lot of restraint there. Awesome. Thank you, Jen Frank. Oh, my heart is starting to go crazy. Oh, man. No! Motherfucker. My hand is shaking. Like, I swear to God, my left index finger is kind of twitching right now, which is very bad because that's the finger that has to do the turning. At least in that direction. Oh, Jesus Christ. That was a good run. I feel good about that. That was fun. Kind of a crappy way to die. I do not often get killed by the shape change. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but I seem to have an instinctive ability to predict where it's going to open up, or which gap is going to close for me. I mean, often, and that's part of what I was talking about when I said don't just constantly go back and forth doing 180-degree turns, but I do often find that when the shape opens up again, like from moving from pentagon to hexagon, for example, it often is 180 degrees around from, or approximately that, from the position you find yourself at. But as you just saw, sometimes it's right in front of you as you enter that shape. So you just can't make any assumptions. See, like, it was right in front of me, and I was starting to move. And usually it's not hard to readjust. Usually it's not hard to readjust and find wherever the opening is. I have to say most of my deaths in this mode are from when the field is reduced to a pentagon shape, and that's because there are uneven sides. It's an odd number of sides, and I often make poor judgments when things are moving very quickly as to which direction I need to turn. And when the field is not symmetrical, I'm just concentrating too much on my speech there. When the field is not symmetrical, those judgments are really important. So that's how I often wind up getting killed at the high speeds in this one. I think I'm going to try to get one more really solid run on this mode, and then I will switch to hexagoner, and we'll see what we can do in there. My top score in that one is only about 120 at the moment, which is really upsetting to me because every 60 seconds everything changes, which is so cool and exciting. And I didn't even friggin' realize that until a couple days ago. I had no idea. I just assumed, like, my top score was like 100 in this one and 80 in hexagoner, and I just basically assumed that like right now we just hit hexagon level play at 60 seconds and everything shifted to this deep blue, which is beautiful, by the way, and we hit this particular speed level, and some of the patterns, some of the motifs that we see of the geometry stop happening actually when you hit this level of play, especially in hexagoner. Even more of them stop happening because they're just too friggin' hard at this high speed. It's like the game understands that, like, part of the balance is that it simplifies the kinds of patterns you'll see, and you can start counting on that. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that's the surprising thing, really, that I would lose my train of thought. Yep, no idea, forget about it. Fuck it.
Game over.
Fuck that, too. Oh, yeah, so I just assumed that once you hit hexagon mode, hexagon level, it's hard to differentiate that. Once you hit 60 seconds, I assumed that speed and that new color and just the way things were, that set of patterns, that would be perpetual. That would just continue ad infinitum. It was just an endurance test at that point. But that's not true at all. Every 60 seconds on from there, things change, just as they did at the 60-second mark in the first place. So, as you saw in my run earlier, I managed to stay in the hexagon and deep blue hexagon mode from 60 seconds, and then at 120 seconds, everything shifted to a deep red color, and Jen Frank said, "Awesome." and things, you know, actually the patterns and speed seem to me to be pretty much the same once you hit that mark. Things don't always change, but I will say that in this mode, hexagon mode, the first level of difficulty, if you make it to 180 seconds, things change to look very much like the 60-second mark in Hexagoner, both in terms of the colors and the patterns. And that's really surprising to me, actually. I wonder if there is a structural pattern that will emerge among the different modes, that there's a relationship between them, where yeah, that motif really messes me up a lot. It's hard for me to see which way I need to turn initially to get the gaps for some reason. But even when I do, the fine step intervals make it quite difficult. And I really should have shut the hell up quite a long time ago on that run. But like I said, I want to try to get one more run that goes into Awesome, and then we'll move on to Hexagoner. I may just go back on that if I continue to fail too many times, but right now this is feeling pretty good. I haven't run out of stupid things to talk about, and hopefully this is not obnoxious or silly in any way. I really love the shit out of this game. And like I said before, I'm not the kind of person who really goes in for skill-based arcade games like this. I mean, I'm not bad at video games, but I'm usually not the best one around when I play with other people, and it's usually just not something I care that much about. Usually, what I'm interested in is a unique single-player experience. Holy shit! Somebody just sent me a message. Oh, I got added to a friends list, and it fucked up my entire mind. I'm sure I'll appreciate it later, whoever you are. Fucking Hexagon. I tried the free Flash original Hexagon game that Terry Cavanaugh has on Distractionware. I didn't even know it existed until about a week ago. It's basically a prototype for this game. It's really simplistic. The patterns and the speeds are extremely stable and static, so you could much more easily play forever. However, it has a very significant lack of refinement in the sense that you can die by hitting the side of a thing and not hitting it head on, which is really bad because I find it essential in playing this game to be able to make moves early as soon as a gap has passed me, and basically like rub against the sides of things very often. So I found it very hard to play that, just coming from this and having that experience under my belt, which is kind of an interesting thing. Just to, you know, it's harder to go back. If I had come to that game fresh without having experienced this more refined version, I'm sure the case would have been different. I'm gonna shut up right now, actually.
Awesome.
That was pretty sloppy. Damn. Oh, Christ. Yeah, I mean, I'll have to actually rewatch this video because every time I die like that, I find myself wondering, did I really go the wrong way in those pentagons? I feel like I did. I'm pretty sure I should have gone the other way after one of the concentric pentagons right there, but it's just so hard to tell the moment after you get killed and you try to visualize in your mind what just happened. It's really tough. But like I said, I wanted to get back to awesome on that, which meant past 120, and I feel good about that. So I'm getting pretty reliable and consistent about Hexagon. So anyway, here's Hexagoner. We're going to do this now. This is my score so far on Hexagonist. I have not spent much time on this. I found it really challenging out of the gate, and I'm not even sure how much skill versus luck is responsible for making it only to 30 seconds. So, and I haven't even attempted the hyper hexagon or hyper hexagoner modes yet. And that's not because I'm afraid of them. I'm actually really interested to see if they're kind of remixes or like advanced speed modes of the hexagon and hexagoner patterns that I already am familiar with. So I'm looking forward to playing them. I just don't want to go out of order, really. I want to beat Hexagonist because I think that the difficulty is indeed meant to be continuous throughout the 6 modes. So anyway, here's Hexagoner. Don't expect me to play well immediately. The jump in difficulty is pretty steep at first, especially because my mind has just spent the last, I don't know, what, 20 minutes becoming acclimated to the patterns of hexagon mode. So this initially will feel foreign to me. It's going to take me a moment to warm up. I do like this mode a lot. Like I don't remember if I mentioned this earlier, but hexagon, at least when I'm not talking while I play, hexagon mode is quite boring for the first 60 seconds for me at this point. So as I try to tackle score challenges and improve my time, I do find myself really bored for the first 60 seconds after every time I die. So, but this is you can tell. I mean, this is challenging right now. I did make it to hexagon on my first attempt here, though. I'm gonna shut up. This is hard. Well, it will be hard. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Oh man, I'm really good at wincing when I play this, which is really bad because the near misses get me the worst. Like, it's one thing to see my death just a millisecond before it hits me, and to wince as the screen flashes white and Jen Frank tells me game over. But it's another thing to just very narrowly bypass an obstacle and wince in my seat as I do it, because God, what happens next? I'm like, my reflexes are behind as that happens. I let myself become frazzled even just for a moment, and then I'm lost. And that's the thing. That's the thing about playing Super Hexagon. So much of it is about trusting your peripheral vision and your subconscious, that if you begin to feel overwhelmed by the patterns that are coming towards you, even just for a moment, the effect has kind of a slope to it. It accumulates gradually, and you kind of fall more and more behind mentally. This game, I mean, it looks like it's being played with my hands. It looks like I'm playing this with my left and right index fingers on my shoulder bumpers on my 360 controller, but it's not. It's played in my mind, and it's played in my subconscious more than anywhere else. And that's what makes it feel so damn good. The experience is really euphoric. I can feel it changing the structure of my brain. It's like the way I never got into Tetris, but I used to read articles about people dreaming in Tetris, or just the way they would see the world differently. And there have been very few games that have affected me in that way. I would say Braid is one of them. I remember the stage, I believe World 4 is what it is, that every time you move in a certain direction, time moves forward or back according to whether you're moving left or right on the 2D field. And that affected the way I perceived the world outside a little bit. Not for very long and not terribly dramatically, but it did. It had an effect. Similarly, even something like, I don't know, a Metal Gear game. Playing Metal Gear Solid 3 changed the way I would view, like, the contents of a street. Like, oh, look at that telephone pole, I can hide behind that. Just, it's not a conscious thought, because that would be very, very silly, and I would not be saying it out loud right now if I had those kinds of conscious thoughts. But the way you look at things changes because of the interactive experience, the way you've trained yourself. So a lot of people who have become very good at games like Tetris and other games, especially, I guess I should say puzzle arcade games, because it's all about the time crunch. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I suppose that people who spend every waking moment studying chess, despite having no time constraints there, see things differently because of that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that there's not a lot in video games that really does that for me. The kind of thing that I generally look for in a video game is more embodied by experiences, like, you know, I mean, like the classic examples are things like Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, and now, thankfully, Journey, that kind of stuff. Like, that's like my primary interest in video games. I am not one to often go in for an arcade experience or a seriously skill-based experience. I've played a couple of bullet hell games. My favorite is Ikaruga, but I've never really fallen in love with that genre. It never brought the zen out of me quite like this does. Oh god, did you hear what the music just did there? It's a climax, the music climax, and that sometimes really just fucks me up because I stop trying because I feel like I'm done. Ah, damn it. Which is really it's really kind of funny. Yeah, I just love this game, and you know, one of the things I love about this game so much is that, I mean, I really like Jen Frank's announcer role. I mean, it's so arbitrary that she announces your longevity as you just survive for longer periods of time in terms of geometric shapes. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for it whatsoever. She could just as easily say 10 seconds. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, like, there's no... Of course, I sound exactly like a terse girl as I speak like that. But there's no need for it whatsoever, but it's so cool. I just think it's so cool. It's like, it's some kind of a punk celebration of geometry. It like, that makes no goddamn sense, but that's what it feels like. You play this game long enough and you feel like her words, as she just announces the names of these shapes, are like, God, shapes are cool, man. I don't know, it's fucking dumb, but it's one of those things that's occurring on a subconscious level. It's part of the tone of the game, if that makes any sense. It's majestic. It's reveling in something. It's reveling in these abstract shapes, and for her to say those words is a significant part of that experience, I feel. Jesus, what's happening? I would like to make it to 120 seconds. This is bizarre because my play right now, as I'm fucking talking, I'm talking while I'm playing this. It's crazy. My play right now is more consistent than it has been for for a while, actually. At least on this mode. No, on both modes. I had more quality runs on Hexagon just now than I have for the last couple of days. No, that's not true. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just got that score. I guess, yeah, I'm talking about the consistency. What I mean to say is that I'm not fucking up early as much as I usually do. I don't know why. Anyway, this is really an experiment. This live streaming thing. As I mentioned before, I've never done anything remotely like this before. I've participated in a couple of podcasts with Select Button, but I've never recorded gameplay footage, and I've never streamed video, and I've never done. I've never like recorded my voice just speaking live. Like, I've never had a friggin' reason to do that. So, and I actually debated whether or not I would even bother with a microphone for this, but I feel like just watching someone play this with only the music, like, would you keep watching? Would it be compelling? I mean, would you see immediately, like, oh, this guy is a fairly decent player, I think I'm going to see how he does on this run? And then would you get hooked? Would you be like, oh, that was so close, man, I can't believe, oh, I think he can make it just a little bit further. I'm gonna watch him some more. Would that happen? Would you get hooked in the same way that the player does? Would you have a one more try experience as a viewer? I have no idea. And I went the wrong way. See that? I'm really interested in trying to find out whether, you know, I'll watch this myself later and try to see whether I feel like this was entertaining or worth doing at all. And you know what? If it wasn't, and you know, hopefully some other people will see this. I doubt very much anybody's actually watching this live right now. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let me try to get my head back in the game. I doubt very much that anybody's watching this live right now, but one way or the other, I hope that someone or some ones do at some point check out this video, and I hope to find out from them, you know, brutally honest, whether or not this is worth streaming in this manner, because I just don't know. And I am, like, when I'm playing this, I just feel like I really want an audience. It's the strangest goddamn thing, because I never feel that way. I never feel that way about anything. I'm an introvert, he says after speaking by himself non-stop for 30 minutes. I'm an introverted person, and I'm not an exhibitionist in any way, and like I said before, the kinds of video games that I like are just single-player experiences where I just take my goddamn time and explore a world. So for me to have any interest in putting on a spectator sport like this is crazy. It's so different for me. But, you know, it's just one of the many ways this game is reshaping my brain, I guess. I should concentrate a little bit more on my play, actually. This might be getting obnoxious. So, I'm not really sure if I'll do this many more times. I have to evaluate the video for myself, and part of that is the technical aspects of it. This is, like I said, this is my first time streaming or live broadcasting anything, much as well as my first time recording gameplay footage, and it took me some time to get set up with XSplit on Twitch TV. So I'd like to take a look at the quality of the video and determine whether I did alright in terms of settings, both for sound quality and video quality. I hope that the volume levels are okay. It took me some time to work out mic volume and relation with game volume. Alright, now's the time for me to shut up, especially since I'm going on about something incredibly boring.
Game over. Again.
That's what I get. That's what I fucking get. That's it. Super Hexagon. Motherfucker.
Line.
I still don't feel good enough to play Hexagonist. I just don't think it's possible for me right now. I suppose what I need to learn some new skills in playing Hexagonist mode. I need to learn to develop a better sense of absolute motion and not be thrown off by the field spinning suddenly. You might look at this right now, what's happening on the screen right now, and think that the spinning is disorienting, especially when it changes direction, but it's really not. I'm totally used to it. And in Hexagonist mode, what happens is the speed of the spin changes abruptly, like it just does these sudden spins, like these twirls, really. They're just kind of stylistic, elaborate twirls, and I don't know how to cope with it yet. Like, I don't know how to see what I'm trying to do as that happens. It's really, really dense. We'll take a look at it in a second, actually. I'm just gonna get one more good run up there in like at least 70 seconds, and I will actually shut my goddamn mouth for a change and see how I do. And then we'll take a look at Hexagonist just briefly before I end the video, I think. I don't want to go too long. I have no idea what's happening on my hard drive. So I did decide to save this locally just in case. I really think that this game is beautiful at the same time. Oh man, at the same time as I admire the gameplay design, which is the most elegant fucking thing I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I mean, I have like such an objective appreciation for this game, in addition to my experience as a player, just loving the hell out of it. I like just admiring it from a distance. I have so much appreciation for this game design. It's so elegant and simple and pure, and that combined with the diversity and smooth transitions of the procedurally generated patterns is really just kind of astounding to me. I mean, I have to wonder about the process of polishing this game. I mean, of moving from concept to this execution, this particular final form execution. I have to wonder about that process of balancing and polishing. And it's so beautiful too. I mean, the colors and the patterns come together to create. Oh Jesus! I went the wrong way. I don't see those spirals very often, actually. There are a couple of patterns that you just do not seem to see very often, and sometimes I don't adjust to the new motif quickly enough. I didn't shut up like I said I would. I promise I will. I promise. Speaking to my enormous audience, I know you guys are getting impatient. I will. Blah 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 blah. Oh god. There's no wrong place to start that, and that was the wrong way to go to get to the next one. That is a tough pattern. You don't often see two of those in quick succession, because and I find it hard to emerge from that if it's not at a really low speed and get to a new entry point. I feel like this game needs its own lexicon. There's all of these concepts that are part of the the granular experience of playing the game. Just all of these just mechanical things that are happening in my brain as it interacts with this game that are maybe not apparent. Oh Jesus. And one of them is shame at the way I just died. No, but like what I said before about fine step intervals. I feel like that's an important mechanical concept here, and like here I am doing fine step intervals, and there's a lot of that. There's just a lot of little concepts that make up the way I physically approach this game, and I think creating a lexicon would be really interesting and kind of maybe perhaps even illuminating for the process of games criticism more broadly beyond the scope of just this. I don't know, that's probably a really pretentious thing to say. Maybe, maybe not. But I think it could be. There's a book on my shelf that I've been meaning to read, and it's called Pilgrims in the Microworld, and it's basically a phenomenological account of one man's love affair with what is it, Breakout? I think it's Breakout. I think that book is about Breakout. Yeah, it is. And well, I don't think of Breakout as Breakout. I think of it as Arkanoid because of the way I was raised. Thank you, Daddy. And I haven't read it yet, but I'm really interested to see. Like it's a book. It's a full novel length book about in which this guy just recounts his experience of playing Breakout and trying to become better at it, and the way his mind experiences that and becomes better. And I feel like what I'm going through right now is most likely quite similar, and I'm just wondering what I can take from that, and that's applicable more broadly to video games. I think that a lot of the lexicon of what I'm experiencing here, the hypothetical lexicon that doesn't exist yet, would be transferable in some way. I think that's probably the greatest possible approach to video games. Phenomenology, just the process of the mind as it experiences in first person, and the invisible. I don't know. The way in which it approaches the new experience and comes to terms with it and grows from it in the process of mastery, especially in that. I mean, certainly the kinds of like single player games that I like so much. Mastery is not as significant an element in them. Usually exploration is much more important to my interests, because I like the places, I like the worlds, and that's a large part of what I enjoy so much about video games. The unique spaces and places, and sometimes the impossible spaces. Very often in stuff like Silent Hill, that's my favorite thing that's going on. Actually, the original Silent Hill is one of my all-time favorite games because of some fascinating things it does with spaces at like 3 different points in the game, 3 very specific times in the game. It does brilliant, impossible things by connecting up spaces that don't actually connect up, and I feel like in the context of the game there is a really fascinating implication there for the relationship between the player and the designer, and that's why I love that game so much. And so it's places and spaces for me a lot of times in games, and I don't really know if phenomenology is such an interesting approach to that experience, because I think that experience it doesn't really need a whole lot of analysis. You don't really need to go into a lot of detail to understand the appeal of video games as ways to explore unique and impossible spaces. It just kind of speaks for itself. But I do think phenomenology has a lot to say about skill-based play. Especially, I mean, this process that I'm playing this over and over again, and right now, for some reason, I'm just talking so goddamn much that I'm not really focusing on doing better and better, which probably makes this a really terrible live stream. But I think that the process of starting over and over again, game over, begin, game over, begin. It's like a mantra. I think that process and the development of the mind in slowly achieving mastery, slowly getting better, I think that experience, and especially in the conscious ways that the player chooses to change his mental approach to the game, like I was describing before with the different ways I choose to look at the playing field to try to achieve more of a Zen-like state as I play this. I think that stuff really lends itself well to a phenomenological account of the game. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. Stepwise. Spiral. Oh Christ, I hesitated. Why did I hesitate? No, I'm gonna stop this. Alright, we're gonna move on to Hexagonist. That was a good run, and you see, it's always just one thing that trips me up. I felt like, as I was doing that, I felt like I could go forever. But there's always one mistake that I make. I don't know why I hesitated. Oh god, I forgot how just awesome this is. The music, like right from the start, the music is so badass and intense. You see that spinning? That's what I'm talking about. I don't know how I'm still alive right now. I haven't done this in ages. God. Spiral. I know that now. Oh, that's gonna be some hard stepwise bullshit right there. those fine step intervals are going to really mess me up, especially because I know it's going to do a fast twirl as I'm approaching them. It's going to be really tough. But this is brilliant. And you know what? One of the things I appreciate about this game is how nicely scaled the sense of speed for the left-right movement of your little triangle is according to the the incoming speed of the level. It scales so nicely, and I mean obviously that's game balance, that's like essential, but it feels good. Like this, I feel like loose and liberated somehow in this stage, because immediately my triangle moves fast left and right. It's just a little, it's just a feel thing, a game feel thing is, I believe, a stupid buzzword that is going around a lot right now. Game feel. Jesus. That's like so many fucking things wrapped up in one term. It's so stupid.
Game over. Again.
I mean, I admire that there's an appreciation of the concept now, but I mean, there's just too many. You're just saying too many things with one word there, or you know, one compound word, or one two-word term. Who the fuck cares? Why am I talking about this? Let's play the game. No, let's not play the game. Alright, here we go. Ah. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of swearing on this one, I think, probably. I don't know how long I'm going to do this because it makes me want to cry. Yeah. Sometimes if you find yourself entering a shape in just such a way that your exit is completely 180 degrees around behind you, well, at least for me anyway, I look at it like I'm like a rabbit in the headlights. I just freeze up. And I can't. I guess part of it is because I can't make a split-second decision about whether I should go left or right to get there, because it doesn't make a difference at all. And like I'm so used to it being essential to make that judgment of which direction I turn in. Okay, that was good restraint there. Oh, that went the wrong way. Whoa! No, that was a spiral, dummy. Jesus. The twirls, man, they're so cool. Like, one of the reasons I want to be so good at this game is because I feel like it looks fucking awesome if you can just play it for a good long while without messing up. It looks amazing. And part of that is those obnoxious spins and twirls. Like, I mean, like I was saying before when I was playing Hexagon, or the spinning on this one is a whole different beast than it is on the earlier modes, just because it's so variable. It just all of a sudden does that crazy twirling, and it's completely different experience, and it looks so cool if you can make it through them. If you can make it through those twirls, it just looks really awesome. Like, it's exciting. Sometimes when I play this long enough, I start to try to envision, like, the world outside the scope of my monitor. Like a vast field of these shapes slowly coming in towards me, and it's kind of hard to do, but it's something I'd like to see. I'd like to see an artist just basically extrapolate a landscape based on a screenshot of this, or like a series of screenshots of this. I mean, you totally could. I'd like to see that. So I think it would be beautiful. Oh, I went the wrong way. I don't know what the hell I was thinking just there. Okay, you know what? I think I can do this. I think I can beat my score at least. Not like that though. That's a beautiful color, that blue. I'm a very simple person. I like abstract shapes and I like colors. What the fuck? What more do you need, you know? Oh god.
Game over. Begin.
Skill, I guess. Skill would work. I could use some skill.
Line.
Jesus.
Triangle.
Oh, spiral. Stop. Oh. Oh god. See, because of the twirl, I didn't register that I need to be on the other side of that thing until it was too late to do it. It's the kind of thing I'm not sure I have the skills to get through this level. I have to develop them, but I don't. You know what? I mean, like I was explaining at the outset of this stream, one of the reasons I've been playing Hexagon so much is because, and one of the reasons I've gotten my time up to 201 seconds is because I think that playing that easier difficulty mode at the high speed of post 60 seconds is a good way to build up skill that I was hoping would be applicable to this, but I have to be honest with myself now, I don't really think that it is. I think that the skills needed to get through this are just fundamentally different. Which is so cool that's possible. I mean, the gameplay is so simple here that the fact that like the mental skills required to get through this would be fundamentally different from what I've employed in previous modes is just so fucking cool.
Game over. Begin.
But it does concern me. I mean, it's gonna take me some work, I think, to gain the literacy with that twirling. That's gonna I'm gonna need to get through this.
Game
Shit.
over. Begin. Game
Yeah.
over.
I think I'm losing it. I mean, not that I ever had any sense of a groove on this level, on this particular difficulty mode. Not like the other ones. You have to get good at something before you can get into a groove with it, I think. It's all about fluency. I don't have that yet. Ooh. Jesus.
Excellent.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, what's happening? Something's happening here. Oh, Jesus. No fast twirls for a while, huh? Oh, I went the wrong way in that fucking spiral. That's good, man. Look at that. Look at that motherfucker. Oh, I almost made it to Pentagon, too. Just needed a few more milliseconds there. I don't know if I want to keep playing this. I feel good about that. Going out on a high note, right? That's how this should go. That was exciting. Am I getting this? No, wait. Oh, no, I'm not. Sometimes
Game over.
this just makes me laugh. It just, like, there's a cosmic humor in this game that I adore. You have to be able to laugh at yourself to play this. Oh, shit. Hesitated on that. But at other times, of course, you know, when you do get into that groove, you find yourself all of a sudden with a gigantic shit-eating grin on your face, and you're just so goddamn happy. It's just there are times when you'll play this game and you'll do pretty well you'll play gracefully for like you know, just 100 seconds. 100 seconds. And it'll end suddenly, and for some stupid reason, like something that you should have been able to get through, and that's fine. It's okay, and you'll just feel amazing. You'll just feel goddamn amazing because those 100 seconds were so skillful and graceful, and you just can't believe you accomplished that. And it's gone. Like, I mean, it's done. But it was so good. You felt like such a superhuman for that small stretch of time. I don't think I'm gonna beat 44 seconds. Not right now. But I do now feel like I can get through this, maybe. I'm gonna shut up actually for a second too.
Fine.
Oh!
Game over.
Surprised me. See, that's one of those moments when I just assumed that I needed to move from that spot, and if I had just stayed still and waited the tiny millisecond that it would take for me to see where I needed to be next, I would have been completely fine.
Fine.
Yep, turning for no reason right there. Oh, Christ.
Game over. Again.
Yeah, lots of turning for no reason. Easiest way to handicap yourself.
Fine.
So hard to learn patience when things are moving so fast. Ah!
Game over. Again.
The fine step intervals can be really difficult when spinning changes the other direction because it throws off your sense of absolute motion. Oh man,
Game over. Again.
I'm gonna shut up. A lot of people... No, what did I just say? What did I just say about being quiet? A lot of people like to play this game either without the audio or with something else playing, like I don't know, like an audio lecture or an ebook or like meditative sounds or more droning music that doesn't have this kind of pulsing beat to it. And I can certainly understand that, but I'm just too stubborn to do it. I like it so much. I like the sound of this game. And like I was saying before, I like the sound of the narration, or the announcing by Jen Frank. Like, I mean, if I manage to reach, like,
Game over. Again.
if I manage to reach 240 seconds in Hexagon mode, I want to hear what she says. I want to hear, like, maybe she'll say she loves me or something. I don't fucking know.
Fine.
But, I mean, she said when I first heard her say awesome when I hit 120 seconds, I thought that was the greatest goddamn thing. I mean, it's so stupid, but it just made me elated in that particular moment. And when I did it in Hexagoner, when I hit 120 seconds in that, I died immediately because I was so overjoyed. But, I mean, I don't want to miss out on that. I love hearing that. And I also love the music, and the music actually helps me to concentrate. If I just kind of, I mean, it's really important and sometimes difficult when you're starting out not to confuse the tempo of the music for the for the speed of the game, because of course the speed of the game is variable. One is not the other. But at the same time, once you get used to that fact, I do find that just concentrating on the music is helpful for me. Although not while speaking, apparently. I'm not the sort of person who gets tired of music easily. If there's music that I like, I can listen to it 1,000 times and not get bored. That was awesome what I just did right there. Gonna shut up, actually. Oh, no, not good. Hesitated on that whole bunch. I mean, I know that motif from its appearance in Hexagoner, I believe. I think it shows up a lot in Hexagoner after the 60-second mark. But everything feels different when it's going this fast, and the spinning. Stepwise. Oh fuck. 2 of those in a row. Didn't hit my entrance. See these words I'm coming up with? Like entrance and... I guess that's the only one. Never mind. Like just a mechanical lexicon is what this game needs. I kind of want to write a guide for it. If only so it's an excuse to make up a bunch of words. Damn it! shit,
Game
not good.
over. Again. Line.
Oh my god. That was mean. But it's so cool.
Triangle.
Oh, the meaner this game is, the more I like it. What does that make me? Christ. Shit.
Game over.
I
Again.
really like that light blue.
Line. Game
No,
over. Again.
messed up my interval on that. Like I said earlier, it's really important to be able to reliably,
Game
Jesus,
over.
to be able to reliably, in one smooth motion,
Again.
get yourself to the desired slot without really needing to concentrate on it. And I'm not used to the movement speed in this stage yet, so I'm not quite there yet. So it's easy to overshoot my mark.
Line.
So I certainly don't have time to inch my way towards a goal.
Game over. Again.
Okay, I'm gonna just do a couple more here.
Line. Triangle. Game over.
Should have seen that coming.
Again.
I don't know why I didn't see that. I'm not using my peripheral vision very much.
Line. Triangle.
Christ. Oh. Ah, that felt like it was going really smoothly. I'm gonna stop. I feel like I'm
Again.
in a bit of a dead end. So I'm gonna stop there. Wow. Wiped me out. It's like, it's exhausting. Let's look at the credits. Terry goddamn Kavanaugh, who of course made BBB, also known as V, or just down up, down up, down up, down up, down up. I guess that was 6. I don't know. Chipzel, whose music I'm otherwise unfamiliar with, but god damn it, did he make some great stuff in this. And Jen Frank, who is a game journalist, and she lent her vocal likeness to this game as the announcer. I wonder how she secured that gig. I would really like to read about the development of this game. I really, really would. I mean, I wasn't there when it first came out because I don't have any iOS devices, so I didn't really see much about it. I wasn't looking at the time that it was first premiering a few months ago because I didn't have any devices to play it on, so it didn't really capture my attention in this way. Anyway, some testers. You might actually recognize some of their names. I definitely, yeah, Bennett Foddy, Jasper Byrne, yeah, there's some names on here. Yeah, goddamn Super Hexagon, man. Fucking love this game. Thank you very much if you have stayed with me for this live broadcast. This was a lot of fun. This was really interesting. I've never done anything like this before, and I think I will. I think I will again. I don't know if I will do it again with this game. I don't want to become boring. I have to figure out whether or not this was entertaining somehow, and whether or not it could viably be entertaining in the future just to watch a guy play Super Hexagon. Whether that can be as addictive as it is to play the game itself. I'm sure that I won't always have quite so much to say as time goes on, so I need to make sure that just simply watching gameplay is as fun as I would need it to be to justify making the videos. Otherwise, I'm sure that I'll find other things to do for live broadcasting at some point. This video, I hope, will be archived on my Twitch TV account. So, thank you very much for watching. My name is Sky, and I'll be seeing you around.